What's up, everybody? Welcome to Pick Central on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube channel. Getting ready for the weekend, man. We got a beautiful weather day, a fun weekend ahead. Joined as always. We've had a good crowd, good turnout this week. Obviously, we still miss Brandon Walker. I believe he's going to be back next week. Thoughts still go out to him and his family in Mississippi, but the show, as always, goes on. Thanks to Zah and TJ for everything they do. Ev, how are you today?
I feel good, Mincy. I want to give a big shout-out to our friend Zah for being here, an absolute legend.
Yeah.
No matter what the circumstances, no matter what the adversity that comes in his way, no matter what the level of hangover, my man is always here.
Big Ev, you know that Zah called me last night at about 10:30. First of all, this is my first time on Pick Central. I gotta say, I'm thrilled to be here.
There you go.
I walk by every day. I say, when the hell am I going to get in? I'm finally in. Zah called me last night at about 10:30 p.m., texted me, and he said, if you're not coming out, I'm going home. Next thing you know, I see the Snapchat stories going up at 12:30, 1 a.m., 1:30, followed by this in the morning, which is the international I'm hungover.
With the Mikey Fowler tag, as always.
But we used to do the morning radio, and Zah would do that. We'd be here at fucking, we can swear, obviously. We'd be here, at 6:30. We'd be here at 6:30 a.m. Zah doesn't miss a day.
That's what I'm saying. My guy always here, no matter what. Always here. I want to give a shout out to the legend before I.
I don't know. I get paid to do my job. I know I'm being congratulated.
Need more
to do
of
my
that
job.
attitude around here, Zah.
I was a victim. You were a victim of the one more.
Yes.
10:45,
exactly.
one more. 11 o'clock, one more.
He was overserved.
I knew when I saw this. Him and
I had
Jesse
I had a friend on senior week at banned for life from the casino, Mohegan, and wrote a letter and blamed them, saying you overserved me, and they rescinded the ban.
Here's the thing,
He was pissing in a plant on like the 5th floor, and they threw him out.
All these bartenders are very irresponsible, and if you look at what happens, they just overserve people left and right, and there's really no accountability and there's no responsibility. So I think that's a great thing.
Yeah.
Team player, if there ever was one. Zah, I saw a tweet I want to ask you. Well, I don't think he's listening. I want to say I saw your tweet. Your goal is to build a hospital in life. I want to hear more about this.
Oh God, I wish I hadn't hit send on that one.
Whatever. What are you gonna do, man? Why are you mad? You have a good heart for humanity.
The man wants to save lives. He's a hero.
Yeah, that's it. It was pretty self-explanatory. That's if I can build a hospital for my people, my community at the village. Then I've done well, pretty much. Hey. My grandmother used to have to drive in an not even drive, get pulled in an ox-drawn cart for 2-3 hours to go to the closest clinic. So,
Most people get shit-faced and say, where's the pizza? Zah gets drunk and says, let me build a hospital.
Good guy. It's built different.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what is wrong with me.
It's what's right with you. What's wrong with everyone else? That's what it is.
Well, I got to give you a shout-out.
Can we move on to the picks? Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Pat.
Fair enough. Hey, well, all right. We brought Pat in, first-time guest. Shipping up to Boston for Game 4 tonight. Have you ever been, I know you've done some big sports, but have you ever been to the NBA Finals?
I've never been to any championship game in any sport ever. I think it was when the Patriots played Atlanta in the Super Bowl. I had a chance to go down there on Johnny Manziel's private plane. And at the last minute, I get a phone call from Dave. And it was Gaz. He goes, Dave wants to talk to you. Dave goes, you can't go to that fucking game. You have to be on radio the next day. If I let you go, then I have to let everyone go. And that was like the big thing back in the day when we had radio. It was if you have radio in the morning after a championship game, you have to be in. So I came close once, but I've never been. So this is my first time ever. Game 4. Shout out Man Mafia. Out and about fan. She hit me up. She works at the Celtics. Hooked me up with a couple tickets.
Oh, wow.
Out of the blue. And they are seats, too. I'm talking 11 rows back.
Oh, man.
Not 11. It's the first level 11. So I'm right near where they come out on the tunnel. But I've never been to a championship game. I'm bringing my older brother. And I just want to scream obscenities at Draymond Green, at Steve Kerr, at Klay Thompson, at everyone on that team who decided to make the Boston fan base the enemy rather than the team. That's the biggest mistake they could have done. So we'll show. You want to see class? I'll show you class.
They broke the golden rule. It's always if you don't want to get called something, don't say, "Hey, don't call me this."
Right, exactly.
Now Klay Thompson, he just threw himself in the fire.
I learned that.
He was not like
Boston fans of all people. The shit we're gonna be yelling.
And even Draymond, I don't know if people caught this. Draymond, I feel challenged the Celtics fans. He came out because I said yesterday on the radio. I said, "Listen, I was obviously Celtics TD Garden, amazing environment watching the game. Shout out Gillian Wallow in the house."
Gone.
I said yesterday how obviously Celtics game TD Garden's got to be way louder, more ruthless, reckless than Cleveland. I had a bunch of Cleveland fans hit me up yesterday being like, oh, because Draymond came out and was like, oh, like they're nothing compared to Cleveland. And I was kind of like, come on, like you think
That's bullshit.
you think he'd give Celtics that credit right now?
I just think it's gonna be Dave and Hank are gonna be on the wood.
I would imagine.
I'm like
Dave, I'm sure is.
just the atmosphere. Like you can feel it. Like when you're watching TV, like, you're like,
Sure.
that place gets bumping, and especially it's gonna be a 9 p.m. game on a Friday night, which means everyone who's there, who may cut themselves off after a quarter because they got to get up for work the next day and take the train in. People are gonna be lubed up. They're gonna be liquored up. It's gonna be I'm gonna have a couple.
I believe it.
I'm gonna be in my.
You're gonna booze up on the train.
Yeah, probably. Realistically, yes, I'll have a couple. I mean, I'm not gonna get shit faced. I want to remember the game. I've never been to a game before. Like, I want to enjoy it. I don't just want to be drunk and like tired. Like
the people who you were the next day you meet up with your buddy or you see him somewhere. You're like, oh, you were at that game last night. It's like, yeah, I don't remember anything. It's like, dude, you're an idiot.
Yeah,
I'll never understand that. Especially big-time games, like whatever. But
one of the best sporting events I've ever been to, I have no idea what happened in the fourth quarter. It was a famous Florida LSU in 07. LSU went for it on 5 fourth downs and got all of them in the fourth when they beat Tebow at the end.
Yeah.
No, the game, it was like midnight, been tailgating.
All right. I mean, it can
no
happen.
idea.
You probably started drinking at like 9 a.m.
Yeah, no clue at all what happened in that game.
Yeah, it can happen.
Back when Mince was on the sauce.
Oh, I was really on the sauce those days, boys.
I'm sure you guys broke it down the other night, but it's just interesting to me that Golden State is just not tough. Like, they're not tough.
Well,
or they're
the thing I'm worried about is that I kind of said it like before Game 3 that I'm afraid for the Celtics standpoint that I think they're gonna officiate the game differently than they did yesterday, or not yesterday, Game 3. Maybe a little bit closer. Maybe not quite lopsided as Game 2, but like a little closer. It just feels like they just love to extend these series. I said before, no matter who won Game 3, I thought the opposite was probably going to win Game 4. I mean, the Celtics win this game, they're going to win the series.
We're winning in 6. If we win this game, we win in 6. And I don't even want to say it out loud, if we lose this game, I think we're going to lose in 7.
Do you think this is the penultimate swing game?
Yeah. I think this is it for us. I think we have to win this game to go into Golden State because they're going to come out firing when they're at home, and the refs will fuck things up like they always do. Look who gets the calls. When we're in Boston, we get the calls. When we're in Golden State, they get the. I mean, it's not rocket science what's going on here. The refs are swayed by the crowds, and not that that's like the deciding factor.
Groundbreaking, yeah.
Right. I mean, it's always happened, but I mean, we won by 8. We won by 18 last time, 16, 18, something like that.
16, yeah.
I don't know. I'm just hoping that the crowd will be crazy enough, but I want to win this so we can win in 6. I want it to happen at home. Like, I'm selfish that way. And then I'm going to spend $10,000 a ticket to go at home. It's gonna
you're gonna go to this one, and there's just like no way you're gonna be able to miss 6 because this atmosphere, man. That's awesome though. Shout out to Out and About. I know y'all been growing.
Yeah, man, it's good. Shout out to Kara for the tickets. You've been to championships. You guys have all been to championships.
I've been to
a World Series. That's it.
No, I never have. Not a real championship.
That's 2015.
I've been real lucky. I've done World Series when I was a kid. I've been to the Super Bowl. I went to the college basketball national championship this year when we were in New Orleans. So those are the ones I did Omaha last year. So yeah, I've been to some, but never been to an NBA Finals game though before. Been to the NBA playoffs, but never NBA Finals.
I'm pumped. I'm taking my brother, and he was like, he's never been to anything too. And like I told him, I was like, I might be able to get tickets, maybe. And I told him, he was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
And they're good, and you're not in the upper deck either.
Not in the upper deck too. So he's got the babysitter for the kid. Do you guys go over like actual like lines?
Yes.
All right.
The show's called Pick Central, so yes, with gambling.
That's checking.
Yeah, fair enough. Boston's a 4-point favorite tonight. Last line was 3.5. I kind of like what Ev said. I've been back and forth. It feels like a yin and a yang series where it's like fighters just get them their best punch. My instincts were kind of thinking go Golden State, but like I just couldn't go against Boston at home. And then also, something big's going on with one of our friends at Barstool, Cole. So I can't go against him with that going on either.
What do you mean?
Is that happening today?
I just know he's got a kid coming soon.
Yeah.
And so I just was like, I can't bet against Golden State if like the kid could come on a Celtics finals day,
I weirdly, before the series, thought that Boston was going to blow them out in one game. It makes sense that it would be at home. I think it's 3-1. I think it's fair. I know it makes there's no backing behind it. I just do think Boston can blow them out. And to Ev's point, though, I'm a little worried that it's going to flip back. They're going to change the initiative. I think it's 3-1 after tonight. I really do. I think Boston's up 3-1.
You also got to remember,
It's crazy. Got to give them credit. They're outplaying them. Clay too. Like, dude, you haven't played great. You're worried about the crowd and what they're saying.
He did play good. What he said was stupid. He did play good in Game 3 though.
Yeah, but he wasn't great in 2 when they needed him. You know,
he was bad in Game 2.
Slow lead. That's huge. You're at home.
Steph also was in foul trouble early last game, which really tamed him down towards the end of the game. I think he had 2 or 3 in like the first half. And
he had 2 in the first like.
And he took
6
that
minutes.
weird break in the third quarter, which like he doesn't usually take, and that's when we made a run, which never happens in
He's
the
a little
third.
banged up too. Yeah, I mean,
And I'm worried about Tatum's shoulder. Every time, like if you have a torn, I don't even want to say it. I tore my labrum, and you know that when you do this with a torn labrum, every time he goes in and he swoops down, his arms get caught, and he always comes up like this, and it's just like nerve-wracking. God forbid something happens to him.
My thing is Steph had 31 and Clay had 25. I mean, I thought it was on Draymond and their role guy.
The role guys didn't show up.
Exactly.
Like Jordan Poole didn't.
That's what happened to kind of the Celtics in Game 2 too.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I bet him in Game 2, so I'm mad at Clay for. I also thought that's one. You tell me you win first 2 at home. Now you got a stranglehold in the series. You know.
No, this is a kill shot moment for Boston. You can't ask for more. When you really look at it, you split the first 2 in Golden State. You protect your home court to get up 3-1. That's the path.
I know they threw away Game 1 too, so that's I guess besides the point. But whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah. So I don't know. It should be a wild. I mean, Garden tonight's going to be just.
It's gonna like. Have you guys been to like a big Celtics game at all?
I've never been to a Boston sporting event, which is bad.
It's just the people there, and I know I'm biased. It's unlike any other. It's like you look
watching it on TV.
Like,
I agree.
Like you look at you guys are probably Knicks fans. Like you look at let's say like an LA game. Like you look in the front row. It's like Jack Nicholson, like Leonardo DiCaprio, Paris Hilton. Like you look at the Garden. It's like the DPW worker who saved up for 2 years to sit in the front row. Like it's all just everyone's diehard. It's going to be an unreal environment, and we're going to be RTR. So that says
ready to fucking roll.
Yeah, man.
Ready to roll.
What's the? I mean, how wild is it gonna get post game?
I don't know. I'm an old man. Like I'm sure I'll be gassed. We get out of there at midnight. I'll be like looking for a train home. But,
At least you can stay up in Boston all weekend.
yeah, I think when they win, it always spills out into the streets. It's gonna be nuts. Grinnell's bar, I'm sure, will be crazy.
Oh, especially if they go up 3-1, it's gonna be on a Friday night. It's gonna be a zoo.
Yeah, people are gonna be getting sauced.
Oh yeah.
I believe every bit of it. No, Tier, what you're
Honestly,
saying.
they'll be getting sauce regardless.
Just watching the games
Yeah.
on TV.
Happy tears, sad tears, something. Booze will be flowing.
Yeah.
Just watching the games on TV. What you're saying. I mean, the atmospheres in Boston are obviously way rowdier than any of the other ones. I mean, it's not. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see it.
Right. I'm like a little nervous about because I watch the games like on my couch right in front of the TV. I'm like nervous. I'm gonna be like just watching the game. Like I've always had trouble. Like, do I watch like the actual game or like I catch myself looking up at the screen and like I don't know if my seats are like too far behind the backboard. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it all depends where your seats are. For me, I feel like when I come find that. So I feel like when you're close, it's like you're in a good spot.
Yeah, man.
You don't have to like. Also, your neck angle too. There's a lot that goes into it.
Well, this is the kill shot, Rico. Who do you have tonight?
I weirdly think it's the Celtics in a blowout.
In a blowout?
Yeah.
You taking the alternate line? Are you
I'm not. I'm not touching it because I've been wrong and I don't want to keep chasing. I have nothing on the game. I'll be honest. I'm just going to enjoy it. I just do think Boston has imposed their will. Golden State hasn't been great. Steph's banged up. Draymond's fucking on Mars. Clay isn't taking things over. Like they're not what I thought they were. I thought before the series they were like, all right, we got through Phoenix, we got through Dallas. Like here we go. This is our Clay was on his way out of the league potentially. Like missed 2 years. Like is what it is. Like all right, now we have a chance for our 4th ring, dynasty wise. Like and they're just not grasping the moment. Boston's beating them up. I think I said it. I said I thought Golden State was going to beat them in 5 and 6, and it was one thing for the Celtics to get to the party. Golden State's going to show like why you have to stay at the party and like teach them a lesson. They obviously haven't done that in the first 3 games. I think if you let somebody live for long enough, they can come back and kill you. I think Boston kills them.
Honestly, I kind of think the opposite. Not the opposite in the sense Warriors blowout. I think this game's like a war. Because I just think the war, I think you get a bounce back from Draymond, and I think.
Well, if it's not,
I think
if
the
it's
Warriors.
Not a war. The Warriors are total pussies. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, I'm gonna bet on that they're not. I'm taking them +4 just because I think that. Also in the NBA playoffs in general, I think from game to game, like fans swing so much. One game, like either side now, like you see them win pretty decisively at home. Now everyone's like, all right, like Celtics are definitely gonna win again. If you're gonna give me 4 with the Warriors in a spot where like they're not dumb. They're sitting here saying the same as we are. That like if they lose, they're fucked. Like they know this game is like you're going for broke here.
When's the last team to come down 3-1? It was
LeBron.
It was
It was
LeBron.
literally against
It was,
that.
and it was when Draymond got suspended.
Yeah, and that
Like,
was
I just think they're like you're getting like their absolute maximum best effort, like one of their better games.
they look good.
And they still could lose. Like that's why I'm taking the 4 points. I'm not taking money line, but I just think you're gonna get like their best effort tonight.
Clay and Steph were shades of like 2019 Clay and Steph, just Splash Brothers. I mean, they're jacking up bricks towards the end, but like once those two get going, I mean, look at Steph. His threes that he was hitting last game, like he's pulling up the half court right outside the fucking paint. Insane.
I just think we get like I don't think Draymond's gonna have as bad of a game as he did.
That's what I was going to ask is how does Draymond? What do y'all think?
I think he's gonna respond.
We can't
Do you
play
like any?
worse.
Do you like any Draymond props tonight?
I don't see for
I don't go into the
for him. It's just like he doesn't rely on the scoring, so like I'm not gonna bet his like over points or nothing. I just think like in general he just has like an overall. I think he scores a little bit more. Like he doesn't have like all the turnovers and that kind of thing, like all the fouls. I just think he plays a much better game.
I want to know, can you bet? Do we have a thing on the Sportsbook app where you can bet the quarters? Because I want to bet on Golden State in the third.
You can.
I've seen enough of these thirds.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Obviously, you always can like because even last game it was literally like it was like money, like it was like straight like pick 'em for the third quarter.
okay, I'm gonna add that to my call. I've seen enough of Golden State in the third and how Boston plays in the third to where I'm gonna.
That might have been a live line, but
Okay, I'm gonna try to find that because I've just seen enough on that front. But last point I want to make on Golden State. You brought up the Clay thing. I thought the same thing as you going in the series. I was huge on Clay. Hit 8 threes in the closeout.
Yeah,
in the closeout game against Dallas. I thought he was going to be back.
he was the only value for MVP.
But yeah, and he's also he came back in January. He missed 2 years. It makes sense for him to just be getting comfortable now.
That's crazy.
He was
2
building up to it.
years?
He was building up to it. We saw the 8 threes. I was like, he's ready for the finals. The boys are back. You know, that's what's coming, Rico. I had the same thought. And, I mean, I know he had 25 in the last game, but that, to me, has been a big part of what's gone wrong.
Yeah, I guess they're not meaning, like, where was he in the fourth quarter of game one? Probably needed him there. They won in a blowout in game two, but he was nowhere to be found. So, like, just a really, really bad series. I don't know. I think he's got to pick it up as well because when those two, like you said, are clicking, forget it. It's on.
I mean, that game one, fourth quarter was one of the greatest quarters of basketball I've ever seen. It was basketball played at the absolute highest level. It was every shot, no matter how contested, no matter how much time they had, was going in. I think that's just going to happen this game. I think it's going to be close. I think the Celtics will cover because we're at home, but I don't know. I got to go get ready and catch my train.
All right, well, dude, Pat.
Thank you,
Thanks for
guys.
coming on.
Pat. Good luck.
Enjoying
Thanks, Pat. Enjoy the
enjoying anything on Out and About you want to promote.
Yeah, every Wednesday, Out and About, me and Joey. It's Out and About on all the socials.
And shout out, hey, Marty's doing a good job for y'all, right?
Playboy Marty.
Yeah,
King.
my guy.
Shout out
guy.
Playboy Marty. Best producer I worked with here. So.
our hot ass guy as well.
Yeah,
Good guy.
Yeah, he's the producer of Out and About and Only Stands. Talk about an interesting life.
Horny guy.
I mean, talk about a guy that's like seeing the full spectrum
Sees the spectrum.
of everything.
And then he's got hot ice, which is nowhere.
Just
near
talking straight baseball
straight
gambling.
baseball ERAs. Like,
All right, thank you, Pat. Appreciate your time.
Pat, if
Hey,
it doesn't go 7, we're gonna have to take Joey to some like gym on the west side to convince him it's game 6. Yeah. Joey was like, so what happens if you buy a ticket and it doesn't go 7? I'm like, oh well, they play the game, but it's not on TV. He was like, really? I'm like, yeah, one year the Bulls, they just played their managers. He's like, oh, I would let underprivileged kids play. Like, he had a great answer. But he legitimately thought they have to play the 7 games. So now we're going to have to take him to, like, some men's league game. And be
He's like, this is game 7.
Yeah, they let him play. Like, yeah.
Celtics Warriors,
Right.
game 7.
That's so funny.
The firemen versus cops.
All right, well, we got a lot of stuff to get into, but this weekend, I mean, this is another awesome sports weekend. I mean, Jerry and, going to Belmont with Dave and Elio. We'll get to the Rangers loss last night. We'll get to that in a second. Major League Baseball. And, oh, yeah, do not forget about the Sonoma Raceway NASCAR. Wine Country is the best place to watch the best drivers in the world and one of the premier motorsports facilities in America. The Sonoma Valley is not just beautiful, but it's also known for great views, great wine, and world-class racing that you can't find anywhere else. This road course dishes out 12 turns that each provide a unique challenge for drivers. High-speed corners, left and right turns, bumps and braking, and legendary passes let fans will have 110 laps to take in all the action with the NASCAR Cup Series this Sunday, June the 12th. And Barstool's own Casey Smith, Kelly Keegs, Cons Large, and the King Spider are headed out to experience the race live in person, so you have got to watch this race on Sunday. And you could still get tickets right now at SonomaRaceway.com, but also be sure to tune in to the NASCAR Cup Series from Sonoma Raceway this Sunday, June the 12th at 4 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1. Now, I got to say, when you think of NASCAR, I think of, Talladega, Bristol, Daytona, like all the southeast spots. I don't think wine country, Sonoma, and road courses usually. So I think it's a kind of a fascinating combo, to be honest. You think of the oval track and the turning left and the southern rednecks loving it. This is a very different alternative this weekend. I think it'll be very interesting. So check that out on Fox Sports 1. Also, good luck to our guy Spider. Man, he's got 4 second-place picks in a row to win it. So that's what I'm saying. But he's obviously doing really good. He keeps just getting second, even though his results don't show it. So follow the Young King Spider's picks. All right, let's get to the Rangers. I was laughing pretty hard. I was on a stream up here last night with Glennie and Frankie Borelli. If you'd have told me 2 years ago I'd be doing hockey playoff streams, I would have said I would have laughed very, very hard. But, man, I don't know, Rico, I know you kind of watched. Did you watch last night or were you busy?
I watched, yeah. It's the reason they're the champions. I don't know enough about fucking hockey to break. There was one really, and if you see the angle of the Garden, you definitely know the play I'm talking about. I forget the exact time. I think it was in the second period. They get a clip. Guy makes a great pass to a guy right by the net, and he just fumbles.
Yeah, stroke.
There's a still shot.
There's about 5 to 6 minutes left.
The angle I'm talking about is like if you get it's like where I am is where the goal's right here. The picture is like from behind, and it's the camera out and the fans, and one guy just they're watching it unfold. The pass goes, the stick goes. It's like here we go. This is the lead, and they just couldn't get it done.
But that was the moment, and
Tampa Bay is a champion. That's what I'm saying. Like you get a 2-0 lead. I think they can fucking win in 6.
No, it's just you look back, the Game 3, the Rangers were up 2-0 with all the momentum. They jumped out 2-0 early in Game 3, early second. Lightning roared all the way back and scored with 47 seconds left to win. You kind of felt like Game 4 was after what happened in Game 3. You kind of wrote it off. Like you're like, they got momentum. They're done. They're going to win. It all came down to that Game 5 last night, and the Rangers got the first freaking goal.
Yeah, now you got to go on the road.
Oh no,
I think it's
and then.
But I mean, you look at this Tampa team, like just knowing nothing. Yeah, like that's.
I mean,
that's just a brutal still shot.
And you wonder, I know that does. This is like a quarterback when they show how wide open a guy is. Like it's not really like whatever.
No, but he can easily get it the left side. He can get it.
It's like not, but it is at the same time.
He had it.
In hockey, you don't get that either.
Nah, he had it.
He had it, and it was 1-1, and there was like between 5 and 6 minutes left in the game when that happened. I mean, if he gets that in there, I know Tampa scored with like 150 left and ultimately won it, but if you got the crowd in there, you're up 2-1. I mean, that is. I mean, Frankie Borelli on the stream said it. He goes, man, we're going to be seeing that highlight for years for fans. I mean, it's just one of those because it's so hard to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's not something you can take for granted at all.
I mean, Tampa's come back in this series. Came back in the last series. That guy.
They come back 3-2 in both series. That's only like to play devil's advocate.
Crazy.
Obviously, Tampa has all the momentum on the planet Earth right now, but Rangers came back with 3-2 Penguins, came back 3-2 Hurricanes. I mean, it's not. I'm just a little devil's advocate. Just you never know.
No, it ain't over. It's just losing 3 in a row, and the fact. That
I think they're.
And they lost home ice.
I think they're fucked, but
I think they're dead too. God, it's just so bummed.
I'm
bummed out my 26.
My only little contrarian brain is thinking though, like the entire planet's going to be on Tampa in Game 6 though, and I'm sure they're going to be minus 180, 200 range.
I would think you'd have to put it 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, I think it
was 180 in game. It was 180 the last game, like 182 or something like that. I think
I'm gonna look it up right now on the.
I mean, I would have to imagine. I'm thinking Rangers going to be catching plus 155, 160 maybe.
It's minus 182 Tampa. Rangers plus 150 right now.
All right,
that's accurate. I mean, it has to be.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean,
you put anything less on Tampa Bay, you're setting yourself up. Like the whole world's going to load up on that.
It's almost. I was on the Rangers last night. I was
too.
It's almost gonna make me want to take the Rangers again, just because, like I said, the whole world's gonna be on Tampa. So
yeah,
a little contrarian, but
Yeah, it's,
They're just, I mean, backs against the wall. Like,
Igor's got to basically just got to prove like
as they say in the game, he's got to stand on his head.
He does. I've heard that a million times.
Vasilevsky is just, dude. He's.
I think he's got to pitch a shutout. You have to pitch a shutout.
And lastly, like they were pretty even, like shots wise. It was pretty even, like the whole game.
Yeah, it just feels like I mean, I don't want to be like this guy, but because you never want to do this, but it just feels like last one's going to be last night's one. You really, it's going to be very.
I'm telling you that there was another similar one like that in Carolina. I remember.
Yeah,
they could have stole that. So obviously they got out of the Carolina series, so it's a moot point. But like you leave the meat on the bone like that. You needed to win Game 5 because even if you're up 3-2, I don't think you're closing out in Tampa, and now you come back to the Garden in home 7. You think they would have closed out 6?
No. I think it was all about winning at home and defending your home ice because they'd won 7.
Champions, I think regardless, if that goal goes in and they win, they're still going 7.
Who, the Rangers, you saying?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
No way they're closing out in Tampa in 6.
I thought it was still going 7.
Yeah, probably not.
I thought it was still going 7, and I don't even know if the Rangers would have won Game 7. I just know that now it is. I mean, you're really swimming uphill.
Like I thought 6 was an uphill battle anyway, but I'd much rather have the lead 3-2, obviously. So like you needed that. You needed to take 5, and they didn't do it, and you had the shot, and that's the way it goes. So.
I was leaving here, like as everybody was leaving MSG, man. The vibe on the train back to Hoboken was.
I saw you tweet that.
It was bad.
I think that kind of goes without saying.
Yeah, it was bad. Well,
you're a Ranger diehard, so you know
clearly, lifelong fan. You know,
so I know you're in pain too. So.
I was upset. I have a 27 to man, dude. I got 27-1 ticket. You know,
I know.
You know, but
I don't feel your pain.
Yeah, it's okay. But Frankie was really funny on the stream last night, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. That Rangers Islander, you know, I obviously didn't grow up around it, but the fact that they're in the same division, I mean, that is the hate is very, very real.
It's like the Knicks and Nets. If anyone cared about the Nets,
exactly. That's the point, nobody does.
It almost has a little bit of like I remember I had a teacher in college who was like from England and how like the teams are so like local there. That's how I think back in the day how they would have like the hooligans and shit gets like so tense and aggressive because they're literally like town to town, like city to city, so they're literally right next to each other. So that's why like when Glennie was kind of talking about it yesterday, I was like, it honestly makes sense. Like most rivalries, like say like even like on Ohio State, Michigan, or like New York, Boston, like you're still like kind of far away. Like you're not literally living like Islanders, right? Like they both live on Long Island. You're literally your neighbors.
Yeah,
your neighbors are Rangers fans. Like you fucking hate each other. Like the more and more I thought about it, I was like, that really is like a very different dynamic than you see like usual rivalries.
Yeah, it's crazy. What's also interesting, I was asking, so it was a debate on the stream last night, like the fan base percentage, because obviously the Rangers have been around since like the 1920s. They're the classic, like, you know, you think of New York, like, I hate to sound like this because I might piss people off, but if you're like from the South and you don't know, you think of Yankees, Giants, Rangers, and Knicks are the classic like 4.
Yeah, that's the 4 biggest fan bases.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to slight anyone. I just think that's like when you think of New York, those are like the classic ones.
Let's just face it, generations of Yankee fans go back to what, 1908, 1918?
Yeah, it's literally forever.
Okay. Mets fans' generation started in 1962.
Yeah.
So you got 60 years of generate. Like, that's just the way it goes.
And they just won a lot. Like, it's like, obviously, when you win a lot, it's easier to jump on the bandwagon.
It's just the way it goes.
Well, so the Islanders were obviously way later. They won 3 straight Cup titles in the 80s, which, I mean, I wasn't even born yet. So it was a while ago. But what was interesting to me on the debate was obviously all over most of New York, so we more Rangers fans. But even on Long Island, I heard it's like 60 or 70% Islanders. There's still a ton of Rangers even out there. Is that correct?
Yeah, that also could be people like who relocated to Long Island, you know, like it's funny.
Glennie is from Long Island, but his family's Rangers, and his high school was like you throw a stone at the Islanders thing. So he was pretty, no pun intended, balls deep in it. Haha, nailed it or crushed it or I whiffed. I don't know. All right, regardless, Rangers, that game 6 Saturday night, 8:00. Are y'all gonna look at any of the Belmont? I hadn't looked yet, but. I mean, I already texted my guy who gave me the exacta box that hit the Preakness, and he liked the Madonna or something. The horse that's the second favorite is only 2.5 to 1, and he got 5th in the Derby. He's like, I know the odds aren't great, but this is the horse I like. And this is my buddy that's lives in Kentucky. I always text him for horse picks. And
I haven't. I listen. There's a ton of people that like I read their stuff and go with it. Like I said, I don't know enough about horses. I can form your own opinion. I know it's a shorter card, like 10 horses. You're not getting great odds. I have nothing really where I'm leaning on.
Literally, probably on Sunday, I'll pick
That's
one. I'll pick one
Saturday.
horse. Or Saturday. I'll pick,
But that's the thing
I'll pick
too.
one
Like the
horse.
Derby, again, people are not a fake horse. Like I do get gassed up for the Derby because you can mark your calendar on it. I think the time off hurts me getting excited for the Preakness and definitely hurts me getting excited for the Belmont. Like it's been 3 weeks since a horse race, and then I don't really watch horse. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What is the? You know what the odds are on Rich Strike?
Yeah. I think
I almost, even if he's long, I almost want to say fucking it. Especially them hearing like Jerry saying that the Belmont's a longer race. Every time they talk about that horse after he won, they said he's this like late bloomer. Like he just like as the race goes on, he gets stronger and stronger the longer the race.
I think Jerry likes Nest. If that's a filly, he likes that. Rich Strike. Where the fuck? There's only 8 horses. What am I, an idiot?
No, Belmont's smaller. The Preakness was
I
only
think
like
there's
10.
I think there's 10.
Oh, okay. Rich Strike. I skipped by him. Rich Strike is 7-2.
So
The odds aren't.
one of the favorites, or
Yeah.
What is the?
One of the favorites. There's only 8. All right, here we go. Ready? This is I don't.
Go ahead. It's only 8.
Wherever it's at. We the People 2-1. Skippy Longstocking 20-1. Nest 8-1. Rich Strike 7-2. Creative Minister 6-1. Mo Donegal 5-2.
That's the one my guy got.
Mo Donegal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too. Golden Glider 20-1 and Barber Road 10-1.
all right. So Rich Strike's like third best odds, or third, yeah, like third.
yeah, but like you don't get like these tries. They don't pay anything. So unless you hit a long shot, it's interesting. I think that's part of it too. Like you don't.
Also, with 8 horses, it really is like
There is no 6-figure payout on
Yeah.
the boxes. Like that's I always
this
just
is such a different ball game than when there's 20.
yeah. Everybody wants that like dream ticket of the Derby, and you can get that in the Derby. That's why I get so gassed up about it.
Yeah, because there's 20 horses.
Dream
Well,
about
there's
hitting that
20
fucking-
freaking horses in the
Yeah.
race.
Rich Strike was the dream.
I know it was
80
the
to
dream.
1.
I know it was the
Unreal.
dream.
It's been weeks. I still can't believe. I'm
You
like,
know what's
it's
sick is
fucking
it went through my
ridiculous.
head too because everyone wrote off like there was actually no prep on Rich Strike.
Well, he was the last. He was
Because everybody
he
had
was the
20,
alternate.
and then when the 20 struck, like
I was number 21. He's
not
the
one
alternate.
person even factored it in. So like you should have thrown it in. Obviously, nobody knew anything about it.
See, the problem is now everybody's gonna put a sprinkle on the horse with the lowest odds or whatever.
Hopefully that'll get more value.
The highest odds
the
forever.
horse my guy likes goes off at 3 or 4.
But
to 1.
these things move so much. Like the guy who's at like 17-1 in the Derby closes at like 40.
That's what's frustrating. That's frustrating. I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but I know it goes both ways. You place your bet, but it's what it goes off at post time.
Yeah.
But I feel like more often than not, it's like you place your bet and then you get worse odds.
That's why I feel like there's not even a point to like you don't get any bonus points for putting it in on Tuesday. Like you might as well just wait.
Yeah, wait until you get scratched and people
gather
get
all the
scratched.
info and see what happens.
There's always like a late scratch. Weird stuff happens in horse racing.
I think you should be able to get a future mark. Like if you love a horse in the qualifiers and you can get him at. Like I think there should be
probably
future
get
markets on the
smoked.
Derby. Yeah, of course. They want to protect what they're doing, but it is what it is.
Well, I'm looking forward to the Belmont. I'm looking forward to seeing the content of Jerry with Dave and Elio too, because
Sounds like a fun.
That's
what makes
I respect
Barstool
a lot of
competent.
pressure. A lot of pressure being thrown in the syndicate. Like you're just all when you're pooling in like that, and everybody's just kind of like whoever. If you win, you all split it up. A lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. I wish him the best.
Sounds like a fun.
Jerry's got that like he's got that little it factor. Like he's always got that little magic in him. Like I could see Jerry just going there and just getting hot, and him being the one who like just carries the team. I could see it. I wouldn't be shocked at all.
Dan going?
Yeah, Dan's going as well.
Oh, Dan's going too?
I believe so. I think so.
Wow, what a crew.
I'm telling you, I have a weird feeling that Jerry's going to show up there in his green tie and all of a sudden he's just going to get hot and they're going to be fucking Dave's going to be rubbing Jerry's fucking head, kissing him on the cheek in the fucking 25-1 in like the third race.
It is a long
getting
day.
hot.
Like 12 races, 10 races, whatever. That is a long hour in between. It's a long day.
yeah.
So
No, I'd like to go at some point. I've never done it. We kind of talked.
I want to go to the Derby. I'd like to go to the Derby.
Yeah.
I just think the pageantry of that is.
Yeah, Churchill Downs looks unbelievable.
I
We
believe
used to go to- we used to go to Saratoga with my grandma.
Yeah,
Sit out on
yeah, I've
the
heard
fucking
so
picnic
Saratoga.
area.
It's like August. Like there's a
August.
lot of history of New Yorkers. Like even going
Yeah.
back to like the mob in the 20s and 30s of Frank Costello. Everybody go to Saratoga, and that was actually where the lake houses in Saratoga at night are where the models for what became casinos in our country. And people go to the racetrack during the day, and then you go to the lake houses at night. I don't know. I always thought that was fascinating, the history of it. I want to go to Saratoga just to see all the history. And also, Saratoga Performing Arts Center looks like a killer music venue, too. I need to go up there and check it out at some point. All right. I've been getting a lot of texts and messages. People want a little bit of college baseball today with the Super Regionals, so we're going to give it we're going to hit you with a few minutes of it. 8 Super Regionals starting, so they're all 2 out of 3. Think of it, if you don't know a damn thing about college baseball, think of this as the Sweet 16. There's 16 teams left. So they're all 2 out of 3 series. There's 4 of them that are Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 of them Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So we'll have games all 4 days.
I don't like that they do.
I think they should do Thursday through Sunday like the NCAA tournament does. I think that like even though, do you like the Monday thing?
I mean, it's nice just to get like
nice to have games. But
I'm just as a gambler, I like having action on.
You're at a disadvantage. And then when would the College World Series be?
The College World Series starts next Friday.
I don't like that. I'm losing my pitchers for a day.
No, but you had to think at that time. You had 3 full days.
Well, you're still not losing.
Also, devil's advocate, add all this in, right? You make the College World Series. You're doing the media thing. You're going on radio. You're fucking playing flights.
Yeah, but
you lose a whole day.
No, you're not. You're at one location.
But I got the devil's advocate part.
Logistics of flights, hotels, your fucking team, whatever.
Opening ceremony. Yeah, well, the one
Packing shit. You lose a whole day. I don't like losing.
The thing on the pitching, though, Rico, is everybody throws their aces in game 1 of the C Supers. So you throw them Friday or Saturday, they're back ready by Friday or Saturday next week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's 8 of them. First one started today. It's Texas, East Carolina. People are going up to the chat. Texas hit a 2-run homer in the first.
When I was just looking at Mincy, I think the Texas Ace is getting worked a little bit.
Yeah, East Carolina. Okay, good. Over-under was 9.
It's second and third. It's 2-1 Texas. ECU is second and third. There's no outs.
Okay, that's the battle of the 8 and the 9 seeds.
No, it's 3-2.
3-2 East Carolina?
Still no outs.
Wow, no outs in the first? Wow. So
Texas pitchers, this ace is
so Pete Hansen, the Texas ace, is like a lefty who locates really well. I mean, you watch him pitch, he looks like a major leaguer the way he's like hitting corners.
21 pitches, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, no outs.
Well, the other thing, the counter to that, though, is it's hot as balls in East Carolina, and it's a crackerjack ballpark, and the fence is like Little League, like 3 or 4 feet. They call it the jungle, the ECU park. ECU's lost 6 straight supers. They always get to this round and lose. However, they're usually on the road. Texas has made 37 College World Series. That's the craziest stat. I mean, that's like they make it every other year. How long's the damn thing been going? I don't know, but it can't be more than 70 years.
It's crazy.
But anyway, so that's the first matchup today. I took East Carolina. I'm going with the same strategy I did last week. Like I said, everybody knows I got my ass dragged last year, and Dave, it was more than apparent. So we adjusted. I'm taking the plus signs this year. If I lose, I'm going down, not on the sucker side. Took East Carolina plus 145. Game 2 today is Oklahoma at Virginia Tech. Oklahoma's got a good ace lefty in Bennett. Virginia Tech's throwing their number 2 starter who's gotten rocked his last 3 starts. Oklahoma's plus 115. They won the Big 12 tournament. They won the Gainesville Regional. Peyton Graham's one of the best players of college baseball. Virginia Tech has never really been good at college baseball, and then they went like 44-12 this year. However, they did do it in the ACC, which is a tough league, but they've never been in a moment like this near Omaha and Super, and so my instincts are going to take Oklahoma, but I feel like a lot of people aren't Oklahoma today is the only thing. I mean, that's my 2-unit play of the day. So that's kind of the one I'm looking at. 2 other games, Notre Dame, Tennessee tonight.
Oh, yeah, I'll probably tune into that.
Yeah, oh, God, Tennessee's 56-7. Dude, Notre Dame's like plus 270. It's a baseball game. I mean, I know Tennessee's 56-7. Notre Dame has a really good ace pitcher. Notre Dame also lost last year. They lost in 3 games in the Super in Starkville, who won the damn thing. I feel like, you think Notre Dame, you don't think baseball. They're good. So I don't know that they can win this, but I think they can push it to 3 games. And it's just one of those things, man. Baseball, I mean, I know Tennessee's record's like that, but you're getting plus 270. I'm not saying I'm going to bet it big, but I'm probably going to put a tiny sprinkle on Notre Dame and just watch it kind of thing in that one. Over-under's 11 in that one, which is interesting. They both have good ace pitchers. But Tennessee's another crackerjack ballpark, man. A lot of these people are saying the balls are juiced, the home run numbers are way up. It's something to watch out for in Omaha because balls don't even make the warning track that are homers all over the country. It's like Omaha's always like 4-2 and stuff. But as far as this one goes, maybe Notre Dame in a small play. Night game, the late 8:30 game, Louisville at Texas A&M. A&M can mash. They've got an incredible lineup. Their pitching's not necessarily the best. I think Louisville is a good matchup for A&M, though. Louisville's actually a slight favorite tonight because they've got an ace that's a little more highly renowned. But there's no way. I mean, I'm taking Texas A&M as a home underdog. They're on fire. They won the SEC West. They swept their regional in College Station, and they've got an awesome coach in Slosh, who was at TCU 20 years and got TCU to Omaha like 5 times. It's his first year at A&M. 15 transfers. Because now this NIL, you turn it around so fast. You don't have to take all the freshmen and develop. He's got 15 transfers. I like A&M in this series, but I like A&M. So today, I mean, I'm on all the dogs. I said it. I even tweeted out. I said all 4 underdog long shot parlays 36-1. 35-84-1. I put $15 on it. Win 500. Screw it. But anyway, so that's my picks for today. They'll have 8. The other 4 super regionals that start tomorrow. Ole Miss, Southern Miss. I'm obviously like completely on edge because of all the bucket list stuff in sports. I've never seen Ole Miss play in Omaha because we always choke. We made it once, and I was broke, and I was back in school in 14. It is what it is. The other ones are 2 out west ones. UConn representing Northeast baseball.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, they're like 49-15 or something.
Yeah.
But we've got to, I don't know. I just can't see them winning at Stanford.
Shout out Kevin Ollie.
Yeah, I can't see them winning at Stanford. We'll see. They're a big underdog. Auburn's at Oregon State. Auburn's the 14. Oregon State's the 3. Man stinks on that. It's just a hard place to go win, man. That's a long-ass way to go up to Corvallis, Oregon. Kind of a weird deal. That's kind of how I feel. Arkansas against North Carolina. North Carolina won the ACC tournament. They're red hot. I added Arkansas plus 25-1 today. I just think their program, they're used to being.
They were number 1 last year, right?
Yeah,
So
they
got
blew
the
it
chip
when
on their
they
shoulder.
yeah, they were in the Tennessee spot last year, but they were dominant, but they didn't quite have the pitching depth Tennessee has this year. But no, baseball's so funny. Watch them win it with the team that's like nowhere near as good. You know, like baseball's weird. But my thing on Arkansas 25-1, they're on the easier side of the bracket than Tennessee and Omaha, and that's a big factor. That Tennessee side is like Tennessee and Texas, East Carolina, Oklahoma, VTech, A&M. I feel like that's going to be the harder side of the bracket, and then the other side is going to be a little more wide open, and I think that's something to look at. You know, I think that people need to look at that. I'm forgetting one off the cuff, and I'm mad at myself, but the other West Coast one, Auburn, Oregon State, and UConn, Stanford. So that's all of them. They're Friday through Monday. Keep an eye on it. So big, pretty damn big sports weekend here for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I want to get into some Major League Baseball. That Yankees game was a nuts yesterday.
Ridiculous.
I took the Twins plus 180. They light up Cole for 7 runs, and I don't get to
watching the beginning of the game, and just back to back, like not just home runs, like legitimate like nukes, like bombs hit off this guy. I was like, Jesus Christ. But this Yankees team is just like everyone hits. All of a sudden, like Hicks is finally hitting now. Gallo's starting to catch a stride, hit 2 bombs yesterday. Like the thing that's I think has been underrated. See, those guys had struggled so much early in the year, and now like those guys have been kind of coming along as we've had injuries. Like Giancarlo is finally back in the lineup. He just pinch hit last night. He didn't start, but finally getting at least like a little bit healthier. But I mean, no, that was a great win. I mean, especially just to be down like that, have your $300 million pitcher just have an absolute dog shit start and still somehow cover the run line was preposterous.
Crazy.
But the great fucking win.
So, I mean, he had a couple of those starts we talked about early in the year, and you were kind of like, calm down. Like, he's still good. Like, I guess what would you give his grade? I know his record is, like, really good. Like, what would you give his grade as far as the year?
See, like, because honestly, he had like a bunch of good starts in a row before this one.
I know, yeah.
See, for me,
but he did have the ones bad early.
No, for sure. See, for me, I mean,
to give up the homers.
His regular season grade,
B-.
B minus.
Yeah, which
I
is,
mean,
you
C
know,
plus.
The story's been in the other. I mean,
see, for me with Cole,
I'm not looking to knock it. That's like genuinely like, where are you at?
No, I think that's a fair question. For me with Cole, like we can keep beating that horse with the Yankees. Like, it doesn't matter unless he shows up in October. I don't give a fuck what he does.
Yeah, you're right. You really, I mean,
you give him $300 to show up. Like last year, like you give him $300 million to show up in Fenway, go pitch a gem. He sucked.
Do it.
Like for me, like I know it's like a joke. Like I'm like, he don't have his pinstripes. I'm like go pitch in the fucking playoffs. Like until he shows up in the playoffs, he's just some guy we gave a bunch of money to.
DJ, what would you give him as a grade?
I don't know, man. I've been pretty just like we said last time we talked about the Yankees. Like if we have a 1-game playoff, he's not pitching.
I don't think so. I wouldn't want him to.
$40 million. Yeah,
I wouldn't want him to. I agree with TJ. I mean, but the thing is, I almost feel like, do you think they would though?
Yeah, I mean,
like I'm saying, like if we had a playoff game tomorrow, like everyone's healthy, we have a playoff game tomorrow, like 1-game playoff. You think Boone starts him?
I think from like a a vote of confidence factor that they would like if Boone was asked today, he would say that Cole would be the starter.
I think so too.
12 starts, 67 innings, 5-1, 3.63 ERA, 1.07.
Crazy. It was 2-7 coming into yesterday's start.
Yeah, I mean, he got shit. He got
84 Ks, 27 earned runs, 11 homers. So he's basically
That's
giving up a homer a
the thing.
start.
And it was the same thing last year
last
too.
night.
When he would give him up, he'd give him up early and often. Like you see, like when he gives like even you'd see a few starts like last couple years where he'd give up 1 or 2 early and then end up like having like a decent end up going like 6 innings, only give up like 2-3 runs to give him the first inning. But
I mean, he didn't really. He got shelled early against like the Twins. I remember. Oh, I'm sorry. That was last night. The Tigers. Remember that? Early,
yeah.
he was getting in trouble.
that's what happens. Usually when he gets in trouble, it's early.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he's got to deliver in the
part.
playoffs. That's really what it comes down to.
It's cliche when you give a guy that much money. Like that's what we paid him for. Win playoff games. Like obviously he needs to excel in the regular season too, but you got to show up in the playoffs. That to me, like with him, that's all that really matters.
Yeah, I mean, and ultimately, like anything can happen. Like I remember this when Syndergaard was Syndergaard and he was fucking peaking in 2015. He went toe to toe with Bumgarner. Or 2016 in that playoff. He also was a horse for us in 2015. 2016, that wild card game, he goes toe to toe with Bumgarner. You know, so you just need a guy to get you in the dance, get you in the mix, and happen. And with that said, like he threw a gem and it wasn't enough. You know, so that's the way it can go in baseball as well, especially these.
Oh, for sure.
Playoffs.
But see,
you guys
him,
are probably in a good position where you're not going to be in a 1-game playoff.
I hope not.
But,
I mean,
you know,
But even if he say like last year at Fenway, if he went and threw a gem, we lost 1-0, I wouldn't be like bashing him.
right.
But it was because he went there and gave up for it like a few runs, like really didn't
100%.
pitch
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
didn't have his command, like gave up a lot of hard.
Yeah, that's all you can ask is like just at least give us a shot, throw a gem.
That's what he didn't give us. Like
Same thing. Like how
give us
many
a shot.
times has DeGrom? DeGrom's got like fucking 100 wins in his career because
Not
he throws
less.
Yeah,
Less. It's actually crazy.
like
how little he
70
has.
something.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Yeah,
Remember we talked about it before.
he throws gems, but he can't get the runs, or he gets them into the 8th with no run. Like so, just at least give us a chance though. A guy like that, you tell me I'm going to get 8 shutdown innings from a guy. All right, I'll take my chances. Like we just got to pencil in 2 runs. Like we'll figure it out.
I would give it. Syndergaard was great in that.
Did y'all see the Angels finally won a game last night?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
bet
was
the
pissed.
Red
I was on the Red
Sox.
Sox. I was pissed.
At the Red Sox.
What would the losing streak end up being? 15?
14.
14.
14
They were
fired Madden. Like we nailed it. We talked about it on Hot Ice the other day. Or
Should
yesterday.
have known. It walked into the bear trap.
We did. It was 14 in a row. You shouldn't do that. But
It's like being in
It was the
it's like
fatal
being in a
time.
roulette wheel where red hits 12 in a row and then you're like, screw it, I'm gonna jump on now.
yeah,
Like,
it was the Fade Otani thing though. We still don't think he's like necessarily shutdown pitch.
yeah,
I
he's
knew-
okay, but he's overvalued by
The amount of shit I talked about him last week, he was doing to pack it up. my
Definitely.
goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a great start. I give him no. He had a great start. He pitched great last
But
night.
the Angels had like a 4-game lead early. Not 5 games. Like, excuse me, early enough. Like the end of April. I feel like that lead, and we were kind of like who would you worry about the Astros? And we were all kind of like, no. And the Astros have skyrocketed fucking past them.
And the thing with them is too, like their
I
hitting.
mean, when you lose
Their hitting hasn't.
so
Let's say with them, their hitting hasn't even been like spectacular. Their pitching's been like unbelievable.
Yeah.
They've been like the biggest. They've been the best under team in baseball.
I know.
And they've just been winning a ton of games.
it's like losing. I mean, I know Springer's been gone a couple years. They lost Correa.
Yeah.
But even like Payne, they picked up Payne. Well, not picked him up. He's like a guy they brought up from
Rookie, yeah.
like a rookie, and he's been like
gonna
unbelievable
hurt.
as a shortstop.
Not having Correa, not having Springer in the playoffs is going to hurt them. But these Houston,
They're other two like clutch guys.
Houston right now would be the team in my eyes. I think obviously the Yankees are great, and Toronto I picked to win the World Series. So I know everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, you're picking all." Houston to me is one of those teams I really do see coming out of the American League because it is wide open.
But if their pitching's that good, that plays in the playoffs. What do you think? I was looking at the American League odds. I know the White Sox have had a crap ton of injuries, and they're kind of hanging around. They're like 8-1 AL right now. Do you think they'll eventually get it together?
So
I mean, they've got a lot of guys coming back.
They're a huge favorite to win their division, even being like
I think they're like 3 or 4
they're
games
still
out.
3 or 4 back, and they were minus 225 when we recorded with Smitty last.
That was when they were like
Tuesday.
4 or 5 out, and they were still
Yeah,
minus.
so like it goes to show you what people think about the White Sox. Yeah, I don't hate it. I mean, 8-1 to win the American League. They're going to be in the dance most likely.
Oh no, I mean I think they'll be there with also, especially with the extra wild card spot. They'll
Definitely.
be there. They asked me in Hot Ice yesterday as the Yankees fan who I was most worried about in the AL. I said rank 1, 2. I said Astros, Rays. That's in my opinion who I'm most worried
teams
about.
that got the pitching.
Just like the teams that just win in the playoffs. Like,
Yeah.
I think it would be, as much as I said it. This is exactly what I said in the show. It would be ignorant of me not to say this, even though I hate them. I don't know how I could not say the Astros. How could I not say them with the just record of success they have with the hitting, pitching, like.
Get a lot of that revenge factor too. Like you guys were dragging the Astros.
Everybody, the whole world was dragging them.
Now the Astros are like, all right, well, you would hope to think it's clean now. It's a revenge factor. Hey, we're still the bad boys. We've won. We can get there. So
they're just winners. Like they're winners.
As a baseball fan, regardless, I'm rooting for that series. I just
Yankees
think
Astros.
Yeah, I just think it's good for baseball.
Oh, for sure. Like Yankees Astros. What ALCS would be unreal.
I saw a mock playoff bracket, like if the season ended today, and it was 4 AL East teams.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's all three in the wild card.
So what they add an extra wild? Like what's the new?
I think it's one gets a bye. Right? One gets a bye. Two plays 7.
3, 6, and 4, 5.
3, 6, 4, 5 in 3-game series.
So, but if there's an extra wild card, what do they do about that winner take all thing? Remember how they have the winner take all one game?
Wouldn't it be gone?
I don't know.
Oh, it may be gone.
I don't.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Should know more enough.
I just don't know.
But the 2 and 7 wouldn't make sense if there wasn't.
Well, then you get 3 winners of the series, and you add in the 1 seed who got a bye, and now you have 4.
You're okay. All right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So
what I'm saying?
And then you got so you have to have 3. Okay, I don't know.
That makes sense.
I brought up something.
No, that makes sense because a 3-game series. 3 winners come out of it, and then like the 1 seed plays one of them, and then obviously the other 2 play each other.
All right, here we go. 1 seed. This is best league record. 2 seed, division 6 seed, whatever. Hold on. In this structure, the 1 seed will play the winner of the 4-5, while the 2 will play the winner of the 3-6. Is this from 2022?
So the top 2 get a bye?
1, 2. Yeah, I guess. Does 6 play 7 to ensure? I don't fucking know.
All right,
I hate when they don't fucking.
We'll figure it out.
Here. This is it right here.
If the postseason started today, Twins, Red Sox.
Yeah, so 2 teams get a bye in each.
2 get a bye in each one. All right.
Is the wild card thing a 1-game thing?
So it's 6 teams, not 7. It's 6.
Best of 3 in the first round.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. So they're doing best of 3 now in the wild card thing.
I did say that.
I like that. Dude, one game thing's too much for baseball.
DJ, on the standings though, it's 3 teams in the wild card.
Is there maybe a 6-7 wild card game to go to that series?
I don't know.
I don't know. They're changing up. I like more teams being in the playoffs, though. I don't hate it. Like, that was always back in the day when it was only, hardly anyone.
Oh, okay. I get it. So it's the top 3 seeds are the division winners. The bottom 3 seeds are the wild card winners, and then the lowest division winner also plays in the wild card, is what I'm looking at here, right?
Yep.
So the Twins are the worst of the division winners, so they have to play in the wild card game.
Got it.
Oh, so only 6 make it.
Got
There's
it.
3 divisions. That's what's
3 divisions.
I was thinking
That's
4.
What's throwing me off.
Yeah, because we're thinking 4 like NFL. Yeah, got it.
Friday,
3 divisions,
folks.
3 wild cards.
Friday. Folks.
Yeah, hey, man. Summer Friday. All right, let's get to our picks for the day. I know I went 0-3 yesterday.
Yeah, it could have been worse. Could have went 0-4-1, I think I went. I'm fucking terrible. I'll give you here 3 losers. I'll start.
Tough night for the boys.
Phillies, Baltimore, Cardinals. Fade them as you will. I'm very cold.
Phillies, Baltimore. Okay. Ev, what you got today?
I'm on, like I said before, I'm taking the Warriors +4. I just think it's gonna be a really close game. Little zigzag. I'll take the points. I got the Rays money line +105 at the playing the Twins. Then I've got this play. This is probably my favorite play today. The D-backs Phillies over 8. And I've also got the A's Guardians over 7.5.
All right, I went back and forth on Warriors and Boston. My instincts like Golden State to bounce back, but like Coley's such my dude, I just can't bet against Golden State if he's about to have his kid. I just can't do it. So I took Boston by 4 for Pick Central because I had to make a pick, even though I don't really feel good about it. I have East Carolina money line. Look at those. It's got some solid plus sign value. East Carolina money line +145. Oklahoma 115 is 2 units, by the way. They got their ace going. Virginia Tech's throwing the number 2 guy who's gotten shelled the last 3 games. That's a good price. A&M -104, and screw it. I'm doing it. Adding Notre Dame. Give me the 2.6 units. Let me see what the updated line on it is, but we're adding Notre Dame to my card. I've kind of gone against Tennessee and gotten burned some this year, but like whatever, man. I mean, they're +255. Add it. Screw it. It's on my card. So that's what we got. Also want to mention, TJ, are you going to Ball Stroll at the ballpark?
I am.
All right. What's details?
I don't know if there's still tickets left, but we'll be out on the center field porch getting some free drinks and some free food before the game starts. If you're around, come say hi.
Cubs Yankees tomorrow night.
Yep.
Tonight game.
Big F, who you got in UFC this weekend?
So it's funny because on the podcast, I said I just feel like Yuri's going to knock out Glover, but I think as the week's gone on, I've kind of been getting talked into Glover at the plus money.
But Jack Mac's the biggest Glover guy in the office, I think.
There's been a few smart people that I trust that I talk to outside this office that are MMA guys that really have kind of tried to really talk me into Glover. And the more and more I watch like a bunch of Yuri's tape from like Risen and stuff, and he definitely does like struggle with takedowns, and he's so like athletic. He was able to get up against certain guys, but the guys he was fighting were like solid competition, but just not Glover to share. So I think I actually am going to bet Glover. He's like plus like 170, and I think if you're going to bet him inside the distance, because I don't think this fight is going to go the distance. I think either Glover's getting knocked out or Glover's going to finish Yuri on the ground. So I like Glover. Who else did I like? I like Shevchenko in the co-main event in the title fight by inside the distance. She's plus like 110. She's just like such a monster. Who else? We have a parlay. All right, so I'll say the parlay. It'll be out tonight, I believe. Our spinning back fist parlay it's Garcia, Brendan Allen, Zhang Weili, who I like. I like Zhang Weili a lot. Money line just by herself. She's laying she's a little juicy, minus like 160, 175, but I think she's gonna win. Joanna's really tough, but I mean she hasn't fought in like over 2 years. Zhang's been really active. I think she's better all around. So our parlay is Garcia, Allen, Weili, and the main event to not go the distance. It should be in like the 300 range. I really, really like it. And I like Garcia as well. Just like the three picks. Garcia is actually not a huge favorite. I like him money line as well.
Awesome. Well, want to wish everybody a safe summer weekend. I mean, lots of great sports. Rangers Lightning Game 6, Game 4 tonight in Boston, Belmont, college baseball, super regionals, Major League Baseball, UFC. You can't find some sports this weekend to watch. You're not trying hard enough. Stay tuned. The Yak is up next, and I think BFW should be back on Monday. Knock on wood. Looking forward to getting Brandon back.